What's up, guys? Welcome back to Foeonthefights. They're not doing a UFC pick'em for Ufc279. Nate Diaz versus Hamzat. So I'm just on the UFC site getting the lineup, and I've made my predictions, and I'm gonna get right into it and share them with you. Take out my gum so I'm not making gross noises. Anyway, looks like a pretty decent card overall. Fight number one, we have Darian Weeks versus Johann Nessie. Um, yeah, Johann recently lost to Gabe Green, stocky wrestler with a huge overhand. Darian Weeks recently lost to Ian Gary. Darian Weeks has a very similar build to Gabe Green though. So yeah, I don't know. I just think if Johann had trouble with Gabe, he's probably gonna have trouble with Darian Weeks. So I picked Darian Weeks for this one. And yeah, first fight I got Darian Weeks, the American. And then moving on. Sorry if I seem tired, by the way. Health issues keep me from sleeping much at night. And I spent most of the morning trying to get a hold of social services. About 2 hours of hold. And never got to talk to anybody. So anyway, second fight of the night we have Melissa Martinez versus Elise Reed. Elise, she's coming off a loss to Sam Hughes by TKO. She's got a win back in March over Corey McKenna, which is impressive because Corey looked really good in her last outing. Corey's from Alpha Male, Uriah Faber's team, if you don't know. But before that, in July 2021, she lost to Sijara Eubanks. And I don't know much about Elise Reed. But this other girl, Melissa Martinez, she's coming off a lot of wins. To be fair, this is her debut, I believe, in the UFC. Yeah. And, but yeah, she's got a lot of TKOs, a couple decisions from what I see. And I just have a feeling she's going to get it done here. I think this might be her debut. I could be overlooking that. She's got a lot of fights in Combate Americas. She's a Mexican fighter, and I'm picking her. I'm picking Melissa Martinez. I think she gets it done over Elise Reed. And next we have Chad Anhelinger. Chad Anhelinger versus Alatang Haley. And Chad, he's got oh shit, yeah, she's coming off of a okay, sorry guys. I have all these Sherdog screenshots and I don't even know who the fuck they're for. Yeah, Chad Anhelinger's only had one fight in the UFC. He won on the Contender Series, and then he beat Jesse Strader, and now he's got his first challenge in Alatang Haley, who's been in there a while. But yeah, Chad's coming off of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fight win streak. So that's pretty impressive, even if it's amateur or, let's see, Rise FC, Modern FC. Haven't really heard of them. Havoc FC, but seems like a pretty well-rounded, like he's been fighting a while. So I'm not sure why I like Altang Healy. I like to see him win, but I'm going to go ahead and pick Chad Anheliger, the Canadian. Altang's coming off of a win over Kevin Kroom. Not familiar with him very much. Pretty fucking fast. First round, 47 seconds left, I think. And so it was towards the end of the first round. But then he had a draw before that, Gustavo Lopez. Then he had a loss to Casey Kenny. Then his first two fights in the UFC, he won against Bat Garel Dana and Ryan Benoit. But yeah, Alatang, he's kind of sloppy, not very technical. He throws hard. He's a fighter. He likes to bang, from what I remember. But 10 fight win streak. Something tells me Chad Anheliger is gonna come in here with a pretty good game plan. It's his debut or second fight from what I saw. Sorry, I already forgot. I just talked about it, but something tells me Chad's gonna get the dub here. But I wouldn't mind seeing Alatang Haley pull it off. And then we have next Norma Dumont versus Danielle Wolfe. I'm gonna pick Norma Dumont. Danielle Wolfe is 1-0. I think her only win is on the Contender Series, but she's a 3-time championship boxer, female boxer, obviously. So she's got hands, but Norma's a big girl. She's got thick thighs, thick ass. She's got power. She's well-rounded. She's a veteran. She's been doing this a long time. I think if Danielle gives her trouble on the feet, Norma can utilize her MMA, the grappling and the ground game, and give her lots of problems because she's probably still pretty green in those areas. And yeah, Norma's coming off of that split decision loss to Macy Shazam. Pretty close fight. She fought pretty gritty though. Kept fighting the whole fucking 3 rounds. Then she had a win over Aspen Ladd and Felicia Spencer, which is impressive. Before that, and Ashley Evans Smith, I'm not super familiar, but back in 2020 she lost to Megan Anderson, which was crazy. I mean, Megan Anderson, where's she now? She's not even in the UFC anymore. It's crazy, man. So yeah, I think Norma's gonna get it done. I've always had a low-key crush on Norma Dumont. I just think she's like kind of hot in a weird way. And then we have Jake Collier versus Chris Barnett. A man. I'm gonna pick Chris Barnett just because he's fun. He's super undersized for heavyweight. Even though he's a big boy, he's very short. We saw him land that spinning fucking wheel kick or whatever it is, right behind the ear of, who was it? Jared Van Dam, somebody like that. He knocked him right out. Jake Collier's been one of those guys who's kind of just like, he's just like a stepping stone for new heavyweights. He's never really gotten to that elite level. Let's check out his record real quick. Yeah, Collier's coming off a loss to Andrei Arlovsky. Win over Chase Sherman, which is not too, but I mean, that's kind of impressive. Lost to Carlos Felipe. Win over John Vellante. It's not too bad. Lost to Tom Aspinall. Win to Marcel Fortuna. Lost to Devin Clark. Good God. His career since 2014 has been win-loss, 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 win-loss. So if you go by those stats, he's probably going to win this one because he never loses 2 in a row from in the past fucking 6 years, which is just crazy. So yeah, maybe I should pick Jake Collier actually, but I don't know what. You know what? I'm not going to go with my heart. I would love to see Chris Barnett win. He's fun. He's energetic. He's a fresh new heavyweight to watch. But after looking at the records, Jake Collier's got way more experience in the UFC, and he never loses 2 in a row. So yeah, I'm sorry, Huggy Bear, Beast Boy. I would love to see him win, Chris Barnett, but I'm changing my pick to Jake Collier. And that's the final. Okay. Moving on, we have Denise T. Lewin versus Jamie Pickett. Denise is coming off of his debut March 26th. He lost by rear naked choke in round 2 against Alishkab Kizriev. Then you have Jamie Pickett on the other hand, who he's coming off a loss to Kyle Dawkins, but he's definitely got the UFC experience advantage. He's got 2 wins before that loss to Joseph Holmes, decision. Laureano Staropoli, decision. But he's lost to Jordan Wright, which is lower tier middleweight, and Tafon Nchukwi, which is also kind of on the lower level, outside the top 15, I think. And then he's got 2 wins. A loss to Punale Soriano on the Contender Series. Punale is a beast. I'm not sure. I think he's still in the UFC. He's that beast Hawaiian. I hope he's still in. He's fun to watch. But anyways, that's besides the point. I'm picking Jamie Pickett. I think he needs to win. His nickname's the Night Wolf. And if he wants to climb up into that higher tier of competition, he's going to need to show himself out in this one. And the Russian, Denise Lewin, is coming off a debut loss. You know those Russians, I always like to pick those Russians, but I'm going with Jamie Pickett in this one. I don't know why, I just got a feeling. Okay, moving on. Sorry I'm dragging on. I told you guys I'm tired. I'm trying to make it upbeat and entertaining so you're not sleeping through this. But anyway, we got Jailton Almeida versus Anton Turek-Kauj. Should I even fucking have to say anything about this one? Jailton Almeida is a monster. The dude's a beast, straight up. No ifs, ands, or buts. Coming off a win, Parker Porter, submission. Danilo Marquez, TKO, punches. Nasruddinov, submission. That was in the Contender Series, and he's 1-2. That guy is 16-2. Absolutely a monster at 205. 6'4", nothing but muscle. Crazy. Age 31, and he's fighting a guy who's 18-0. He's had twice as many fights as his opponent, Anton Turek-Kauj, the Pleasure Man. Must have been a porn star or something. 8-0. He fought in Brave before, but this is his debut. He won on the Contender Series. Decision, which is surprising because Dana doesn't like to usually give out decision wins, so it must have been a pretty good fight. So yeah, I'm picking Jailton Almeida, obviously. And then next we have Hakeem Hakeem Dawodu versus Julian Erosa. This should be a very close fight, contested fight. Both guys are similar. Julian likes to get down. He's a gritty fighter. He's got wins over Charles Jourdain, Sean Woodson. He's lost to Grant Dawson, though. But Hakeem isn't much of a wrestler. He's a Canadian kickboxer coming off a decision win over Michael Trezano. And then he lost before that to Movsar Evloev. And before that, he had a 5 winning streak, all in the UFC. So that's good experience. Kyle Bochniak, one of them, Yoshiro Ihori, Julio Arce, Zubaira Tukhugov. And then on the other side, you have a very, very much so a veteran, 27-9. Julian Rosa is coming off wins over Steven Peterson, split decision. Charles Jourdain, submission. Bravo choke, which is one of his favorites. But he lost to Sungwoo Choi in round 1 by KO punches. Then he had a win, flying knee in round 1 against Nate Landwehr, who's just showed how much of a dog he is. Against the new black dude from Gone, I forget his name. But anyway, I'm going to pick Julian Erosa in this one. I think he's just more of a veteran. He's a little bit more well-rounded probably than Hakeem, who has a heavy kickboxing base. And I think if Hakeem gives him trouble on the feet, which doesn't seem... I always expect that from Hakeem in his fights. I'm like, oh, he's probably going to be kickbox heavy, like piecing dude up. But no, he doesn't really show out in that way very much. Maybe it's because of the UFC, there's MMA. And I think, yeah, if he does, Julian Erosa can counter it with his mixed martial arts skills and put the grappling on him. And then we have next Johnny Walker versus E1 Kutalaba, man. You know I gotta pick E1. I kind of like Johnny Walker. I like that he's with SBG Ireland. But the guy just has absolutely no wrestling. And his chin is... It's up there with Luke Rockhold's in the glass department. And E1's coming off a loss to Ryan Spann. He had that crazy guillotine choke, high elbow or whatever. And then before that, he had a canceled fight with Ryan Spann. He beat Devin Clark. Had a draw with Justin Jacoby. Lost to Magomed Ankalaev. That crazy fight where he faked he was hurt, and I don't know, they had to redo it. But yeah, so I'm picking the Hulk. Johnny Walker's fun, he's entertaining, he's crazy in there, but he's coming off that loss to Jamal Hill, and I just think Ewan's pressure in wrestling is going to be way too much for him. Ewan's probably just going to charge right at him, take him down, and ground and pound him, control him on the ground for 3 rounds and get a 30-27. Most likely. Anything can happen, though, with Johnny Walker, so that's what makes it interesting. So, but yeah, I'm picking the Moldovan, E1 Kutalaba. And then next we have Irina Adana versus Macy Shazam. I'm picking Irina. She's number 4. Macy's number 10. Macy's coming off of that split decision win to Norma Dumont, who's also on the card a little bit further down. And Irina Aldana's, she's been like a huge fucking future champ. All the commentators always talk about her being a champ one day. She's been plagued with injuries, but she's really good from what I hear. I'm not super familiar with her fights. I know she's probably got good boxing, I think I'm saying that right, and her ground game is really good from what I think I know. And anyway, like I said, I can't picture her fights that clearly, but neither can I on Macy Shazam, so this one's kind of just going in with the gut here. I'm picking Irina Adane. I think she gets it done. I think it should be a very good fight, though. Macy's got tall length. She's pretty well rounded, and she's just super tall for the weight class, but I think Irina gets it done. And then next one, this one pains me so bad. It's so hard for me to pick this fight, man, because I want Kevin Holland to win. I think Kevin Holland can win, but something is telling me that the underdog Daniel Rodriguez is going to win, because this dude is just scrappy. He's super good, man. The way he pieced up Kevin Lee was embarrassing for Kevin Lee. Oh yeah, Daniel's coming off of wins over Kevin Lee, Preston Parsons, and Mike Perry. So pretty interesting. And on the other side, we got Kevin Holland coming off of that win over the Dirty Bird, Tim Means, Cowboy Oliveira, which are both moved down to 170. Kevin's super big for 170. He's jacked, he's ripped, he's looking like a true athlete now. But before that, he lost to Derek Brunson, Marvin Vittori, then that strange incident with Kyle Dawkins where he got headbutted. But he also beat Jacare, which is impressive. Charlie Ontiveros, who's a lightweight somehow. Crazy that he fought at middleweight. And yeah, Charlie Ontiveros I think is probably going to be gone. I think he's a karate guy who just keeps getting fucked up. But yeah, Kevin Holland beat Darren Stewart. That's impressive. I forgot about that one. And he also beat Joaquin Buckley. And he's also a Kung Fu master. And he's also a black belt under Travis Lutter, I think his name is. And he's also one of my favorite fighters. So I like to say I don't pick with my heart. I pick with my gut. And my gut is like, I don't know why, it's telling me D-Rod's probably going to find a way to win. But I'm going to just trust my heart and my soul. And I'm picking Kevin Holland, man. the trailblazer. You know I'm picking Kevin Holland, son. We got to get this dub. We got to get this belt. You know what I'm saying? He's a monster. Perfect physicality for the weight class. He's like Israel Adesanya at 170. Tall, lanky. If he could just learn how to fight long, he would be such a problem. Instead of just rushing in with all them shots and falling into takedowns, because he does shoot, he does throw, and his whole body's momentum just keeps going right into his opponent. If he could like stay on the outside, pop, 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 footwork, side to side lateral movement, creating angles, knocking motherfuckers out like you did Joaquin Buckley, son. We got a problem on our hands with Kevin Holland. But anyway, regardless, I'm rooting for him. I'm hoping he wins, and I'm picking him. Next up, we got the co-main event: Li Jingliang versus Tony Ferguson. I have no idea how Tony's ranked 11th at welterweight. That's just ridiculous. He hasn't fought there and I have no clue how long. And Li Jingliang's coming off of that awesome win over Muslim Salikov, who was a monster. If you just do MMA math, Muslim Salikov, with his size and skills, probably destroys Tony Ferguson, to be honest. So I just don't see how Tony can win this, man. He's getting old. That's shown in all of his recent losses. To be fair, he put on a great performance against Michael Chandler in the first round, but then he just ate that bottom of the foot, that ball of the foot, and just chicken nugget karma comes back around. He always called Connor McNuggets, and now his face literally turned into a McNugget. So tough. Such a fan of Tony. Always will be. Hold on, guys. I got to fart, and I'm not going to be disrespectful. Oh, it was silent anyway, so I could have just kept going. Anyway, I'm picking Li Jingliang. I think he's too big. I think his pressure's too much. I think he's too much for Tony. I think he gets it done. And, yeah, Li Jingliang. Tony, hopefully retire after this one, because I think he's done enough. He doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. He dyed his hair blonde again. His hairline's about up to where my headphones are. I think he should have just probably went with the bald look like he did against Oliveira, but, you know, who am I to tell Tony what to do? Just take a look at that, though. It's like way... Hairline is way up there, guys. Way, way back there. And look at Nate. Nate is a classic G, man. Look at him trying to make himself look big. I'm sorry, Nate, but you're a 155er, and you're fighting a middleweight 185er who is a monster at 170 and Khamzat Chimaev. And Nate's a big lightweight, but he's not a big welterweight. He is a small welterweight, and this is the execution attempt from the UFC for Nate Diaz. They think that they're going to send him packing with a brutal loss and tarnish his name while he enters free agency, or as we've recently seen, fight promotion, Real Fight Inc. or something like that. I love Nate. I'm a huge Nate fan. I've always been a fan. Even when he fought Connor, I wanted Connor to win because I'm Irish. At least I think I am. I never did the real Ancestry.com shit to double check and be certain, but family always said we're Irish, so I go with it. Anyway, I just don't see any way Nate can win. That being said, I want him to win with so much in me. If I could send energy to him, I would. Because that's how much I would love to see him just throw a big old fuck you to the UFC. Like, yeah, fuck you. I'm not surprised, motherfucker. I'm the champ. Always been the champ. And shit, like, these motherfuckers ain't real. They ain't done shit like me. Blah, blah, blah. Smoking weed. He's just a gangster, man. So no matter what happens in this, his fans are going to be behind him. And I'm one of them. Win, lose, or draw, Nate will always be a fucking G and one of the most memorable fighters in the organization of all time. Man, this is so tough. So tough. Not to pick because I'm like 90% sure Khamzat's just going to completely destroy him probably. But it's tough to see because I'm such a huge fan of Nate and I just hate Dana White. The guy's such a fucking prick, man. How much money is enough money? So yeah, there's my wrap up, guys. That's the predictions made for UFC 279. Unfortunately, it's not on UFC Pick'em. I guess it's only for fight nights, but I could have sworn I've picked them for regular cards as well, pay-per-views, so that's weird. But anyway, the proof is here. Picks have been made. I will do my review show, let you know what I thought of the card, either Sunday night or Sunday morning or Saturday night, probably Sunday morning, because this one's probably going to be late. It starts at 10 p.m. Eastern, yep, the main card. So yeah, it's going to be one of those 1 a.m. ones. Hate those. The one in France was awesome. Started at noon. That was so sick. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching Foeonthefights. I've rambled on long enough. And, yeah, enjoy the fights. Let me know what you think in the comments. Who you got, who you want to win, who you think's going to win, and all that jazz. Like and subscribe if you like. If you don't want to, I don't want to pressure anyone to do anything. You make your own choices. And I'll see you in the next one.